Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Uh, we're back again with a new video, and this will be a series. And the reason why we're doing a series is to make sure that the length of a video is kept short, and at the same time you get all the information you need about the topic. And my topic today is the Farmers Reforms Bill 2020. So we'll begin with talking about or reviewing some of the laws that are outgoing, followed by talking about the Farmers Reform Bill 2020, and then talk about the pros and cons at the end. So one of the laws that is outgoing, which people bring up in their discussions quite often, is the APMC, or the Agricultural Produce Market Committees Act, and we'll begin the series of video by talking about that law. So, what is this law? Why was it needed? And what are some of the shortcomings of this law? Is what we will talk about in this video. So, in after the independence, what happened was the government policy makers, when they started talking about the policies around the agricultural marketing, they wanted to make sure that the prices of the food and the agricultural produce were kept in check, such that they were not rising too high for it to go out of the reach of the consumers, and also the supporting industries that were buying them, and at the same time they were able to safeguard the interests of the farmers and making sure they get the right amount of money for their agricultural produce. It was quite common and rampant practice at that time, that the local money lenders would extort high amount of food grains from the farmers at throwaway prices as interest, and recognizing this defects and this problem that the farmers were facing at that time. um, there was a need for bringing in a system that would help facilitate the sale of the farmers' produce in such a way that the farmers were not getting exploited, and at the same time the prices were kept in check. So this led to the enactment of the Agricultural Produce Marketing Regulation Act, which governs all the APMCs. Basically, the APMCs are the market yards or mandis, where the farmers could sell their produce. And the way the entire system works is, a farmer would take the produce to the nearest marketing yard. The marketing yard would then have commissioning agents, or the artis, who would buy the agricultural produce from them and sell it to the retailers, therefore ensuring that the commissioning agents get 2.5% of the overall sell, and the farmers are ensured their pricing through a system called the minimum support pricing, or the MSP. um, uh, the grains that were largely not sold would then go to the FCI silos, where they would be stored till they are sold, or they would be bought in the government run PDS, or the public distribution system. This is how the entire functionary worked. Now, so within this law, the provision stated that the first right to the agricultural produce would occur, or the first sale of the agricultural produce would occur only at the marketing yards of the APMCs. The APMCs were the subject of the state, therefore each state had their own policies and the rules around the way the APMC would function. While they were largely governed by the APMR, but then the APMR was also allowing the state to form their own laws. Therefore, one state could have different policies around how this will be done vis-a-vis the other state. And the farmers from one state were not encouraged to sell their produce to the other state, and if they do that, there were levies and taxes. So uh, after this law was brought into effect, what started happening was it did solve the purpose at that time. It organized the entire farmers produce market to an extent, and it helped in stopping the exploitation by the zamindars or the local money men at that time. However, slowly and steadily, what started happening was there are about 6,500 mandis or marketing yards that were established, and when we talk about some of the challenges, they were covering a distance of as much as 85 kilometers on an average. So, on an average, a farmer would have to take the produce as far as 85 kilometers for it to be sold. And this really became challenging for the farmers. At the same time, because it was a state subject, and there was no grading system brought in place, therefore getting the MSP was not that easy, because to get the MSP you also had to be compliant to a certain grade in terms of the grains, and this is where a lot of manipulation started happening, and therefore it led to a need for bringing in reforms within this law, and it kind of created a need for getting into a system that was more uniform across the nation rather than being different across the states, and also breaking these silos within the state and facilitate the interstate selling of the goods as well. Considering these challenges, in 2003, there was a new act that was laid out, which is called the APMC Model Act, which helped in the facilitation of the contract farming model, created special market for perishables, allowing farmers and private persons to set up their own setup within the marketing yards, the relaxation of the licensing norms, because to become a commissioning agent, you would have to get the license first. I mean, not everyone could become a commissioning agent. Then creating a single market fee across the market yards, and also facilitating the use of the APMC revenue for the improvement of the market infrastructure. The other thing also was, while some of the states passed this law and made it and made it a law within their states, the other states only notified it, meaning they weren't done as well as they should have been done, and this brought about another set of unique challenges for building a larger connected market for the entire India. In 2013, the government created ENAM, or E-National Agricultural Market, which is basically an online platform given to the farmers to make sure they were able to sell their produce using this portal. That helped in facilitation of breaking the silos and bringing everyone together. But what they were trying to do was, the APMCs were still governed by the states, but they were trying to connect all the marketing yards together. So all in all, what ended up happening was there was a need for a larger One India uniform policy for the agricultural produce, and this was one of the reasons why the new reforms were required. So that's it. That's about the APMC. Hope you like this video. If you do, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.